Hi everyone, I want to give you a few pieces of information about the midterm and my expectations of you for writing it. So up here I have our Campus Cruiser class page. I have a few Adolescent Psych courses this semester, so yours might look slightly different, but this is generally what it is. Over here we have our shared file, so I'm going to click on that. Assignments, midterm, and final. And here are where your documents are. So the midterm, this is your list of questions, and this is the rubric you should be looking at. So I'll minimize this. I already have my files up. I'm going to go through a few points here. So your midterm for this class is to interview someone about their own parenting style. This person you're interviewing should not be your own parents. You and your parents both have biases where these questions might not really get answered as well as if you interview someone that's not your own parent. So that being said, choose someone who has had at least one teenager, if not more kids, but they should be teenagers or older, just so you can discuss all of this material. If you don't have someone that you can interview in your life, please let me know sooner rather than later so that I can hook you up with either one of my colleagues or someone I know might be interested in answering these questions for you. If you email me the night before the interview, obviously I won't have someone for you. So I want you to get on top of this pretty early. So with that being said, this is a general list of questions that I'd like you to go through. If there's questions on here that the person doesn't want to answer, that's fine. You don't have to push it. There are some sensitive subjects in here, which we'll go through in a second. But just try and get as much of this information as possible. So, identifying information. I have here these subheadings of different information I want you to obtain in your interview. This paper is broken down into two parts. The first part is the actual interview and the information from it. And the second part, you'll see down here, is your analysis. So during the first part, during your interview, you're not giving your opinion. You'll save that for the analysis. And same thing goes for when you're actually interviewing people. You're going to keep your opinion to yourself. An example is down here under parenting style in bullet number 3. You're going to describe the 4 parenting styles to the person you're interviewing. So you should already know them and study them a bit so that you can ask this person and explain to them the theories, what they think that their parenting style is. When you go through this is a great example of how when I give interview assignments to psychology students, you go to interview someone and you say, hey, I'm a psychology student, I want to interview you for this. And then you'll get to something like this, or parenting styles, and people will often ask you, oh, well, what is my parenting style? And they view psychology students to have a lot more power than you guys actually do yet. So with that being said, please do not give your opinion to the person that you're interviewing. You actually have a lot more weight to influence this person and their parenting style. So I'm going to ask you to keep your opinions to yourself, give them whatever excuse you need to, that no, you can blame it on me, my professor said I'm not supposed to share this with you, or you can say I just don't know. But do not give these people certain answers as to what their parenting style is. You're just collecting information from them. So moving forward, identifying information. So this is just background information that you're going to gather about this person you're interviewing. Parenting style. Perspective of their own parenting style, strict, easygoing, the discipline, how do they parent different children if they have more than one child. Often people will parent differently to different children depending on their temperament, their own relationship with their kids. Most parents actually have a favorite kid. I know that you don't want to hear that. Maybe you are the favorite kid of your family, but this is true. Most parents really do, whether they're going to be honest about it or not, have a more favorite child. And then just some more background information. Puberty. So this is the part that gets a little tricky for some folks. So depending on people's culture and specifically their religious background, they may or may not be comfortable talking about this with you, which in itself is telling of this person, right? So I would argue that being able to talk to your children about puberty, about sex, if you can talk to them about that, you can talk to them about just about anything. So if someone wants to talk to you about these questions, awesome, dig in, have a nice conversation about it. If they want to steer clear of it, just try and get some basic information from them, and then you will write about that in your analysis. That's totally fine. Don't force people to have conversations that they don't want to have. But this is a huge piece of the parenting information. Relationships. So, children are the biggest influence in divorce in America, having children in general. So I want you to not only discuss how their relationship is with their children, but I also want you to dig into their relationship with their partner, right? Did they have a partner? Did having children affect their relationship? Did they not have a partner? Were they a single parent? This information is also important. Be really grateful to them, thank them for their time, and that you will keep this information between you and I, and it will be held confidential. You will not give this information to other people. The analysis. So this is where you're going to tell me about what you think. You are going to give your opinions and back them up with facts. Parenting style, attachment, parent-adolescent conflict, culture. Culture is huge in people's parenting styles. So ethnicity, religion, values, you're going to discuss these things, and anything else you feel like might be really pertinent to this assignment. The assignment should be between 4 to 6 pages, type double-space, APA format. So those 4 to 6 pages are just the body of your work. You're going to have a cover page and a works cited page that are not included in the 4 to 6 pages. So just so you know, I do take points off if you're under that page number or over the page number. One of the things that's more difficult in writing this paper for students is sticking to that no more than 6 pages, because you're usually obtaining a ton of information and you want to tell me all of it. That's great. However, part of being a good writer is to be able to cut out the fat and just say what's important. Be clear, be concise with your information, and just tell me the most important parts of what's going on. I do not need to know every single piece of information that you obtained during this interview. Just tell me what's most important. So again, the first half of the paper is a summary of your interview. The second half of your paper is an analysis. Use the points that I have given you here. This is a great outline for your interview. And you're going to demonstrate your ability to apply these theories and concepts to the real life situation. So with that being said, your analysis, you're going to use some research to back up your opinions. So you should be using 2 things. One is at least one peer-reviewed journal article. So this is not something you could just Google. This is, if you look on that video I posted of the APA writing style, within that video I explained that the Middlesex County College Library has a database where you can go in and look up peer-reviewed journal articles. Again, because this is a science in psychology, I want you to use research-based, evidence-based points to back up your opinions. Along with at least one journal article, you should also cite some information from your textbook. You should have in-text citations, which are the little parentheses. I'll show you, I have an example here in a second. It should be the author's last name, the year of publication, and a page number, right? Anything that you cite in your paper in an in-text citation should also be listed on your works cited page. So let's go to an example. I have an example here. This paper is not the same assignment, but it's an interview paper I assigned for a different class. The format of this paper was well done, so this is what I'm giving you as an example. So this first page here is their cover page. You can see in the upper corner here is the page number. They have a running header, and then the title of their paper. Again, here, the title of the paper. You'll put your name here, student name, and Middlesex County College. That's all you need for the first page in your cover. So here, again, in the upper corner, you'll have your page number, you'll have the title of your paper, and then you'll have these subheadings. So this sample has a few different subheadings than what I'm asking you to do. If you go back over here to this sample paper, I'm giving you the minimum subheadings that you should have. You should have identifying information, parenting style, puberty, relationships, analysis, and a conclusion. So what these do are two things. One is this helps you to organize your paper in a clear and concise way. Number two, it helps me as your reader and your grader to make sure that you have the information that you need, right? So as I'm going through checking off and making sure you're hitting each thing, it's actually allowing me to give you a higher score because I can say, oh yeah, it's so clear that you wrote about these specific things that I wanted you to. So keep that in mind as you're writing. Some of you may already do this, and some of you it may be new. But this is something that you should be using in your writing. It'll make you a much better and clear writer. So again, these are subheadings: identifying information, introduction. Again, see, they have different subheadings, but basically it's the same. They have different theories they chose to write about, and they put a subheading in that. And analysis. So with that second half of the paper, they start to get into a little bit of research. They bring it in here. This is a great format. Author's last name, year of publication, and a page number. They have that. They also have another one in here. This is their peer-reviewed journal article that they included, and a conclusion. The last page is a works cited page, and this is a properly formatted works cited page. And then the last thing I want to go over quickly is the midterm rubric. So one of the things you can see here is subheadings. The difference between earning a 4 or a 5 in organization is subheadings. That's the only difference there. And you can go through each one of these columns to see what you need to get the highest score possible. If you have any questions at all, please email me, let me know. Check out that video on APA writing style. If you have other questions, you can go to the Middlesex County College Library. You can chat with them online. You can call them or contact me. I'm happy to help you. Start with this early, and good luck.